Mark Warner from Design Workshop Architects in Durban. So the brief for Plaatje was primarily the resource centre or library was like kind of the focus of the campus. So as a brief, its primary objective was to be kind of the heart of the university and a public space that people could access 24/7 throughout their sort of student lives. And I guess as the centre of learning was a key kind of component to define what people's experience of the university would be. Steel in Plaatje University kind of library was a key component to achieving a lightweight, transparent connection to the public space. So the heart of the campus is really the public space that surrounded the building, and by the building in itself is very solid, and one wouldn't think that it necessarily has a lot of steel in it because its primary expression is one of concrete. But I think that the ground floor, which is really steel and very lightweight, meant that this heavy form was floating above the ground and allowed for complete connectivity between the public space and the ground floor, which is really where the students are studying. I think what it also did is inside the building, there's a lot of lightweight elements that were sort of more architectural in their screens, acoustic screens that were used for privacy and for flexibility. And steel kind of made a perfect material to do that in what was otherwise a very solid form. One, to convince a client to undertake something that was also, I think, very courageous as a building, and to convince the client and the construction team that it was achievable. So I think that the engineers and the construction team played a huge part in that, because the complexity of the building and the rawness of it always stood the risk that did we have the required skill and to achieve what was envisaged. So I think sort of achieving that, and then I think the complexity of all of the components really holding those together to ultimately deliver a completed project, I think, was a great achievement.